Street Patrol and Violence Prevention Program. He's gone straight since his days as an enforcer for the Gangster Disciples. And he said the situation is very tense on the South Side as turf battles between the local gangs and Venezuelan migrants heat up.
It is impossible to release gang members and criminals into our country through the borders and broken walls and infiltrate them in our community that's already impoverished, that's already broken, that's already disinvested. And when the black gangs, the leadership in the black gangs in Chicago, get fed up with the illegalities and the criminal activity of these migrants or non-citizens, the city of Chicago is going to go up in smoke, it's going to go up in flame, and there's going to be nothing that the National Guard or our government can do about it when the bloodshed hit the streets, blacks against migrants.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, bro. I mean, I hear what you're trying to say here, right? But there's actually a lot the National Guard can do, but the governor of Illinois is not going to impose this, right? How do you fix the South Side of Chicago? Literally, if you are affiliated with any type of street fraternity, you should go to jail. That's how you fix it, right? You get all of these individuals off the street until they stop deleting people at the rate that they delete people. That's how you can do it, right? Now, put the National Guard on every single corner. I would enforce also martial law. Just make me the governor for a month, bro. I got you. I'll help you.
Right.
All right, 1 month. Vote for me.
Zach Massey did time in state prison with Tyrone Muhammad, although he's only 27. He's a leader on the streets and said he's disgusted by the money going to Venezuelan migrants at the expense, he says, of the African-American community.
I finally actually talked to him on the translator app, and he told me all the things that he got going on, how they help him get a car, apartment, clothes, link. So it's just I just be looking at it like they ain't got no Social Security number. Where they come from? He probably not even here legally.
They get right here. They get quick housing, quick funding, food.
Bro, imagine a tag that says retired gangbanger. What?
They get cars with no license. They can't even read English and stuff like that. So they get all these perks when they get here, and we still here starving. So what we gonna do about it? Are y'all gonna listen to our cries?
Corey Rock.
I mean, I can tell you a couple of things you could do about it, right? That would require a lot of you yourself doing something and not waiting specifically for someone to come in and save you. That would be probably the biggest thing that you could actually do, right? I hear a lot of things that these guys are saying. I'm fully aware that Illinois is an interesting place, right? What I mean by that is every single thing, and every single time I've spoken to someone from this region, right? It is racially segregated in a way that is interesting, right? Everything is race. And it's bro, there has to be more, right? There has to be more of a conversation. It seems like every single person is literally waiting for a literal handout. You have the ability to earn, sir.
To come out.
You do, right? And I think you should. For yourself, it'll be more meaningful.
We're here starving, so what we gonna do about it? Are y'all gonna listen to our cries?
Corey Rogers was a Blackstone gang member for years. He drove us around the South Side and showed us areas where he said Trendo, Awagwa, and other criminal gangs are setting up shop and what he called showing the flag, which means brandishing their weapons in front of a housing project.
The migrants that are coming, they're taking over every block right now in this area. Right now, you don't see them because they come out at night. They said they took this courtway over probably by last week. They said it was 100 Venezuelans standing out in the front right here.
Terry, is it an abandoned building? How do they just take it over?
They just when you take over something, you just stand outside and that's called showing the flag.
What kind of guns?
Semi-automatics, anything you name, you're gonna see it on the.
It's crazy. This is from Mr. Boyd Reacts. Mr. Boyd Reacts. That's the YouTube channel. Support his channel and support my channel, Charles as well. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's get back into
it. These boys got so many big guns that if they're 150 pounds, the gun is bigger than them. I swear.
But they know how to handle it, right? They know what. Tell me about the fact that they're criminals, right? This is a criminal element. These aren't just a bunch of Venezuelans that walked over the border and used to be gardeners back home, right?
Right. They come from the gangland. They come from rougher gangs than us.
One gang member who.
No, they do. They definitely do. But keep this in mind. we're probably talking about like 3 or 4% of the individuals, so, and that's probably high, to be honest. All right, so just be fully aware of that statement that it is made there, guys.
Only gave his name as David on a particularly dangerous drug dealing corner on the South Side, did not hold back when he talked about the influx of criminal gangs from other countries into Chicago.
The real issue is that
Well, why are you screaming?
America has allowed gangs to enter our country.
Okay.
Gangs that they would consider terrorist groups that are formed here. We are terrorist groups. If we're in a gang, they let terrorists in our country.
The Reverend Corey Brooks also said to me he's disgusted with Democratic policies and said that Black Lives Matter, for example, has never reached out to help him or anyone else trying to improve conditions on the South Side.
Yeah, I bet.
Chicago is a blue city. Illinois is a blue state. There's no doubt about it that the majority of our neighborhood, they're going to continue to vote Democrat until they wake up. The good news is that there are a lot of people who are responding and waking up and saying, listen, we're not going to take this. We're not going to stand for this. We're going to vote differently. And they're now accepting some of the values that I hold dear and some of the values that the conservative Republican Party holds so dear. And so for a lot of people, it's not about the person, it's about the policies that we're fed up with. And as a result, I think this is going to be the largest amount of people who have voted for a Republican president in Chicago that we've seen.
I also spoke to one Venezuelan man who was so scared of being identified that he put a hoodie on and refused to face the camera. He told me in Spanish that he had to flee the building where he was being housed because a Venezuelan criminal gang took it over. He said if they knew he was talking, they'd end his family's life back in Venezuela with one bullet.
Oh, really?
You know, what struck me the most about our week in Chicago was how intelligent and...
Like multiple people with one bullet. Is it like FMJ or something? That doesn't make any sense, bro.
Self-aware these gang members and ex-gang members are about their community. You understand when you talk to them that joining a gang and making big money selling drugs is often too tempting to resist when faced with the lack of other real opportunities to make...
Bro, imagine poisoning your community, then saying that you're making big money and then still staying in this area.
Money. And for a place known mostly in news stories for being bloody and violent at night, the area is like a village during the daytime. Everyone knows each other, and believe it or not, there's a friendly vibe. But we spoke to a lot of people, and their patience is being stretched thin. I would not be surprised to see the gangs here taking action once the Venezuelans try to get a real foothold here.
Right. It's going to be, it could be war.
I mean, this is kind of the same story that we covered a while ago, referring to like the Hells Angels doing something about Tren de Aragua. Listen, guys, here's the thing. The government has to do it. All right? That's it. Like, stop waiting for this type of thing to happen. The government just has to do it, right? Like if they're popping up on like the FBI's radar consistently, then they're gonna have to do something, right? And all of these other street fraternities need to go away also. All right. So while you're taking care of them, take care of the other ones. I'm sorry, bro. Like, we can live a positive, meaningful life without poisoning our community, right? Without all this ignorant violence, bro. Yeah. And then what's the violence come from? Pettiness, revenge, way too much emotion, way too overly emotional type of guys generally that were not raised by their father or with their father. Right? So they're overly emotional. Wildly emotional, out there wreaking havoc and causing chaos in this area. That is what this area is. That's it, bro. Things need to drastically change here, and I don't want to sit here and say I want everybody to be locked up forever, right? But the only way to fix this is to get all of these people off the streets, all of them. All the gangs. Doesn't matter. Don't care. Right? But all right. Guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Guys.
You know, this is Boy Reacts. Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Yeah, this thing, and it's gonna get worse if Kamala becomes president. She's gonna continue on and do what Biden started with just letting the floodgates in, and these people are coming from places where they're big time criminals, like hardcore criminals. But when they come over here, it's like they have a clean slate. They don't have a record of what they had done in their other country. They could be pedophiles, and y'all know what I mean when I say pedophiles, and you know, sexual aggressors. Like they could be coming from countries doing all kind of dirt, and they come over here and just get a free slate, free housing, get money, get free food. They help them get a car, and now they was talking about if Kamala wins, they're talking about helping them get housing before Americans. So I don't know, man. What do y'all think about this? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to Charles and Israel. Hit the thumbs up button.